if you had to give me the biggest threat in the West to the Warriors trying to go back to the finals, who would you say it is? Because I think that if you ask a bunch of people, they would all give you different answers. Because even though OKC is, I think they're about 5-6 games ahead of everybody, a lot
9.
of people still have questions about OKC. So I don't think that there's a for sure favorite in the Western Conference just yet.
I think it's all about matchups, right? We're talking about specifically just the Warriors, like who strikes fear in us the most, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going Nuggets at 1. Just because, like I said, like we're rolling small. We're doing it against teams like the Mavericks, you know, who are starting Najee Marshall at the 5, like PJ Washington going small ball. I'll trust it against them. I got to see it against Jokic and Aaron Gordon with that big lineup with a guy like Russ, high energy. They're not that deep, but as we know in the playoffs, it doesn't really matter. So I got to go with the Nuggets. And considering we haven't beaten them in forever, it seems like they always beat us every time we play them. Last year, I think we had like 2 or 3 heartbreaking losses to them. On Christmas, the Jokic like half court buzzer beater when you're up 20 in the fourth.
That
seems
was
like
brutal.
they have some edge on us that I think we got to get over, and I got to see it. So I'm going to put them 1. Say what you want about me. I don't give a shit. I'm putting the Lakers at 2.
Wait, hold on, Sage. I got some stuff to say because I'm gonna agree with you because a lot of people, like I said, are gonna be labeling SGA, who's the MVP, and OKC as the favorites, right? But you can't. For me, you gotta say Denver number 1. You gotta say Denver number 1. I'm not even gonna talk about Nikola Jokic because we all know what's going on with Jokic. He kills us. He's the best player in the league. I think that he probably should win the MVP this year anyway. Just people don't want to give it to him because we've seen that in the NBA. I mean, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, every year in their primes, they should have got the MVP, but they don't do that in the NBA for some reason. So not only do you have Jokic, but Sage, it seems like Jamal Murray's back. Have you been seeing him lately?
I mean, I've been trying to see him. I mean, last night, he was the only one who showed up to play. So, I mean, I believe in him now.
It's crazy because when you saw him in the Olympics, when he was on Canada, he genuinely looks like he shouldn't start. I think that they had him
100%.
coming off the bench at the end of some games, and you're like, wow, you got the Olympics. Right before that, you had the playoffs where it looks like it looked like he was breaking down. They get bounced in the second round, and you're thinking, do they have to blow it up? Do they have to try to get a different second option in there next to Jokic? Because this is the prime of all primes, and you can't only get one championship out of this kind of prime from Nikola Jokic. But I think he put up 55 against the Trailblazers a couple nights ago. Everybody's healthy. I don't think they have any major injuries going on. That's usually the thing that people try to pin against the Nuggets, but it seems like they're healthy. Jamal Murray seems like he's coming back to be that number 2 option that the Nuggets need, and you got Jokic, so I still got to throw them in as the favorites, even though Vegas probably has Thunder as number 1.
Yeah, Vegas for sure. I mean, Thunder, I think they're second favorites to win it after the Celtics, but that's just because the West is going to be way more of a bloodbath to get there than the East. I don't know if you'll agree with this. I'm going Lakers as the second biggest threat in the West. I don't know.
I can't agree with you there, Sage, but go ahead.
2 guys in the playoffs who have proven it. I mean, Luka carried that Mavs team to the finals last year. Went through OKC by himself. Who they have in the round? Or no, yeah, went through OKC, then went through the Timberwolves when the Timberwolves were the number 1 defense in the league, looking like at the time. Steps up in the playoffs. Like I said about LeBron, like a proven playoff guy. Reeves, I mean,
he's 40. Sage, he's
dude,
40 years
I don't
old.
care. I don't care. I don't
You're crazy.
care. Like
You're
at this
crazy,
point,
Sage.
his 40 is anyone else's 35.
You're more scared of 40-year-old LeBron James rolling around with Luka Doncic. They don't have a center right now. They don't have a center. Jackson Hayes is their center right now. You trust those 2 guys ahead of SGA and that entire young lineup for the OKC Thunder. Are you serious?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, who's the second best player on the Thunder Like, this deep, young roster is cool, like, in the regular season. They're a regular season team. I'm not going to say that they're not a postseason team, but they haven't proven it. And last year, I mean, Jalen Williams in the playoffs looked awful. He looked terrible in the playoffs. Like, he couldn't hit layups, just like smoking bunnies, wasn't playing defense, got his heart snatched by Luka every possession. So I'm going to just give it to the team that's done it, right? Like LeBron in the playoffs. He's great. He's going to take his game up to another level. But it's more so just like after what I saw last night, he's going to be the second option. Like Luka's getting back into shape. He's Luka Doncic. Come the playoffs, he averages 30. And I just think that that's the team that scares me more. I think like that offense doesn't go away. You have Reeves at the point guard now. Looks like a demon. But other than like Shy or other than Shea, like who really strikes fear in you in that OKC team? Like Jalen Williams doesn't scare me. Chet doesn't scare me. I mean, Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Joe, like they're role players. That's fine. Like that's cool. Like in the regular season, Caruso's a role player. That's fine. Like I get these are like guys you have to have on your team to win a championship, but I don't know. I just think the foul calling goes away. You don't get to the line as much, and it's all about like who can execute down the stretch, get big stops, and who's been there with the experience. So I don't know, man. I'm putting the Lakers over OKC. OKC, I do have at 3 though.
Okay, what I will say, because I want to
And
make one.
we match up against OKC well. Like we're 2-1 against them this year, and the one we lost was without Steph, and we should have won it. We blew it. Go back and watch that game.
Okay, but this is what I'm going to say about the Lakers stage. Don't you feel like LeBron's going to break down as the playoffs wear on?
No,
like,
absolutely not.
How can you say that? Because he's done that the past 2 years where he clearly has slowed down at the end. I mean, sorry, last year they got bounced in the first round, so I can't say that. But a couple of years ago, I remember I was kicking it. I was in Kauai with a Mai Tai in my hand watching them play in the Western Conference Finals against the Denver Nuggets. They got swept, and LeBron was not playing any defense, looked slow. He won the first 2 rounds in that. I think they actually beat us in the second round that year. But they just couldn't get done against the Nuggets, and LeBron clearly looked like he was slowing down. So I just think that LeBron's a couple years older. He's going to start to break down. Luka, we know that Luka's not in the best shape right now, and a large part of the reason that you were scared about the Lakers, especially coming from a Warriors perspective, is that they had AD. You couldn't really drive to the rim on the Lakers because AD is one of the best rim protectors in the league, and we had nobody to guard AD down low. Now you get rid of that. I don't know. I would almost say that right now the Lakers are a better matchup for the Warriors than they were when they had AD. Am I wrong there?
I mean, they beat us twice
crazy?
They beat us twice this year without AD. I mean, one game Christmas, like AD went down in the first 5 minutes. I don't know, man. Like I just feel like Reeves and LeBron when
we're a different team, though. We're a different team right now, though.
We are.
This is
I have to see
the Warriors team that lost
it.
those 2 games are a completely different team right now.
Like, do you think like Memphis? Like, are you just arguing for OKC here? Because I do understand.
I'll say this. I agree with your top 3. I think that the Lakers are my 3rd team as well. I got OKC at 2 because
so that's the argument here. Okay, I understand.
That's the argument.
You could flip it. I'm not like gonna beat the drum, like swear on my life, like put a gun to my head, like yeah, this is a better team. But I'm just saying, like me personally, like in the first round, right? Like who would scare you more in a matchup? Honestly,
I would say OKC.
OKC.
No.
OKC. Yes,
no, I'd be way more scared of OKC, Sage, because this is the thing. Who's going to guard SGA? SGA is going to cook us every single game. I love Steph. I love Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Come on.
GP2. We got guys.
There's a reason that he's the MVP, Sage. There's a reason that he's the MVP. I think
because they don't want to give it to Jokic. That's the reason.
But there's a reason that he's the MVP. I think outside of Jokic, he's the second best player in the league right now. He's unstoppable. I think he's averaging 35 points a game. And they're the best defensive team in the league. They're the best defensive team in the league. When they put Hardenstein and Chet Holmgren out there, you got Jimmy Butler and you got Draymond Green guarding the 4 and 5. That's going to be an issue. You throw that you got to guard SGA as well. And then Lou Dort could hit from outside. And Jalen Williams, do I trust him? Do I think that there's a chance that he flops again in the playoffs? Yes. But there's also a chance that he just does what he does, puts up 15 and 20 a game. And they're just way better than us, and they're more well-rounded. So
he's taken such a step back this year. I mean, I get like what you've gotten from everyone else is like made up for it and some. I mean, they're on pace to be almost a 70-win team. Like you can't hate on it. It's hard to hate on. It's hard to make the argument against them. But all I'm saying is that they flamed out last year, and I'm saying it. If they get the Dallas Mavericks in the first round, watch out. Watch out. That's a team that could give them trouble if AD's healthy.